This program is made possible in part with support from the National Endowment for the Arts and the Alabama State Council on the Arts in partnership with the Alabama State Department of Education.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bloom City. Yes, this is a collaboration between the Flourish Alabama and the Greater Birmingham Arts Education Collaborative. Today, we are going to be discussing persona. Yep, today is part 2. Y'all just joined us for part 1. And of course, as always, we got the amazing Bloom City cohort. Everybody go ahead, pop a dance move in the bubble or in the square, whatever it's called. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Alright, y'all. For today's episode, we are going to be continuing what we discussed in episode 3, our first part of persona poems. So remember, we talked about the differences between persona and personification. Then we discussed sympathy versus empathy. So today we're really going to hone in on writing those poems from someone else's point of view and what that looks like.
But before we get started by finishing our poems, let's hit these affirmations.
Alright, y'all, now we're going to do our affirmations. This is a great way for us to get centered emotionally and mentally. So I need everybody to take a deep breath in and out and in and out, and repeat after me. I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am necessary.
I am necessary.
I am loved.
I am loved.
I am healing.
I am healing.
I am healing.
I am healing.
I am healed.
I am healed.
My being is a blessing.
Being is a blessing.
My 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 being is a blessing.
I am the sky
I am the sky
and more.
and more.
I am the sea
I am the sea
and more.
and more.
I am the most
I am the most
and more.
and more.
I am limitless.
I am limitless.
I am forgiven.
I am forgiven.
I am forgiving.
I am forgiving.
I am hope.
I am hope.
I am
I am
regardless. I rise
I rise
regardless.
regardless.
I am the uplift.
I am the uplift.
I am the flourish.
I am the flourish.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I am alive.
I am alive.
Somehow,
Somehow,
some way,
some way.
if death was supposed to be
If death was supposed to be
at my doorstep by now,
at my doorstep by now,
it must be running late
it must be running late.
because I am
Because I am
alive.
alive.
So Eric, what are we doing today continuing our topic?
Oh, absolutely. Again, we're doing persona poetry. Our poem topic is going to be comparing pandemics of the past to our current pandemic. Specifically, we're going to be using the Spanish flu. We're going to be doing some preliminary research, figuring out the parallels between each of those time periods. And then we're going to pick an object, person, place, thing, moment in time to give some human qualities to. It's going to tell us its story, how it felt living through that pandemic and 100 years later to living through the one we are in now.
Some examples of objects that you can pick to do this persona poem are a mask, a doctor, hospital bed, newspaper, even a nurse. And you'll see in a few moments some examples from some of our students. But we're going to build that character and then write the piece.
Now that we've seen, some of the stuff from the 1918 pandemic, Ginger pointed out that the president got the virus back then as well. So that's one thing to notice too. Like the president, the Astu said, just like with the COVID pandemic. And the other thing, Woodrow Wilson, y'all will notice that they tried to downplay the virus back in 1918 due to the war. What stood out to y'all about the Spanish flu? What are some things that stood out to y'all about the research we just did?
So one of the things that I realized was that there were more people dying from the Spanish influenza than the people dying in the war.
People thought if they went outside, they wouldn't catch the flu.
They lied to the American public, or however you say it, just like Trump doing now.
If you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. Jonathan, I saw you were unmuted for a sec. My bad.
Yeah, what I was gonna say, they had different beds than we do now.
What are some of the similarities and differences that y'all notice between the pandemics?
They wear masks like us now, but they also teached outside. That's different from what we do.
Also too?
One of the similarities that I saw was that well, she took one of the answers, but the difference that I saw was that they didn't tell them to wash their hands back then, but they tell us to do that now.
Yeah, they did. They had no idea that the virus spread in that way, so they were all about wearing your mask and everything, but had no idea. Yeah, you gotta have those hands washed.
Well, for starters, the difference is their clothes look weird. Their virus was more deadly. It's just those beds though. It's something about those itty bitty little twin size beds. I don't know what it is. It's just so tiny.
Respect, man.
What are ways that y'all can empathize or relate to the people from the Spanish flu pandemic? What are ways that y'all feel like y'all can relate to them? Anaya, go ahead.
They had to be quarantined like us, but like when they was quarantined, it was lame.
They ain't have the screens we got now.
Oh, that's crazy. I never even thought about that. They stuck in their house. All they can do is read a book with the little thing on their face.
Hey.
Having to wear masks and still going to school.
Having to wear a mask, still going to school. Even though nowadays our schools look a lot different from what they were all outside and huddled up. All good. Eric, what are ways you feel like you can empathize with them?
The worry about the unknown, like dealing with something we've never seen before, and the people who are supposed to be our leaders and our smartest people don't know what's going on, and that uncertainty. Like I can definitely empathize with that.
So the similarity that we have with them is that we were scared of like the sickness just like them.
Now that we've finished our discussion, we can really get into our writing portion, which is all about, first, building depth.
Building depth, we have to build our character. We have to start to brainstorm. What character are we going to be creating? What's our object, person, place, thing, moment in time? After that, we have to give as much detail, as much specifics as we can about it. What does it look like? Where has it been sitting this entire time? How do people feel about it? And then we have to start thinking about its personality. How does that verse speak? How does that verse feel about the voice, feel about the things that are taking place?
Yes, so really give your character that backstory and describe your personality. Take a few minutes and we'll be right back with you. Alright, now that we've given our character a backstory, now we're going to focus on writing that out in poem form. So, your past. That's the first part of this poem. How did you get here? Who are the people in your past? What is your backstory? What is your purpose? Focus on the past without revealing the present. So take a few minutes and start writing in that poem form your past.
Now, in part 3, we have to figure out the present. You've got your backstory, you understand how you came to exist, what it was like to live in your past. Now, what has it been like living into the now, the present? How have things changed? How do you feel about the way things have changed? Take some time. Remember, give as much specifics, as much detail as you can. Don't forget about the emotion. Take some time, and we'll be back for the next section.
Now that we've finished talking about our present, we can look towards the future. So in this section of the poem, we want to ask ourselves a few questions. What do you hope for in the future as the object that you are? Do you feel like you can change things? Is there an end in sight? Ask yourself, how do you want the future to go? And how do you think it will go? Are those the same things? Are you optimistic, pessimistic? How does that make you feel? Really dive into those emotions and then work on finishing that poem up as well there. I'm excited to see what y'all got.
Now, before we start sharing our poems, it's time for our Bloom City Pro Tip. Our pro tip for today is emphasis. Emphasis is all about the way you say things. Go through your poem after you've marked your breath, after you figure out where you're going to breathe. Go back through, mark the most important parts in each line, the most important parts in each section. Where are you building to? What do you want the audience to remember after your piece is gone? And how will you make them remember? Will it be the way you say it? Will it be your posture when you say it? How fast you say it? It's all a part of the fun of being creative.
Our next Bloom City Pro Tip is emotion. I want you guys to ask yourself, what emotion do you want the audience to feel? Be that emotion. You want the audience to see that you're sad? Be sad. You want the audience to know that you're happy? Smile, laugh a little, live a little, love a little. But whatever emotion that you want, mark those on your paper. And then figure out how you can best portray those emotions with using your face. That's the pro tip. Time to watch some of the Bloom City cohort in their persona poems.
In this persona poem, I am a hospital bed. I was born during a time where I was being laid on by people that were ill. I moved from Kansas to Washington, D.C. I have worked my whole life, which is about 4 generations, making sure people are comfortable. Now I guess you could say I am retired, or am I? When I was in Kansas, I was separated from my family soon after I was born. I was adopted soon after, then they put me in a place that I have never seen before. I felt nervous, I felt scared. I saw children crying, people dying, I felt some type of way. I felt disappointed after smelling the air, now knowing what's going on. This place has poisoned air that killed anyone it touches. After going through that, I will never be the same. But after that difficult time, about 80 years later, I was moved to a new home where I saw other beds that looked like me. But they are alone in a jail cell. I asked one of them, what's going on? All she told me was, welcome to your new life. I was there for 20 years, never fed with cotton, never talked to anyone, just there. 20 years later, here I am being appreciated. Now they know me for what I thought was a birthmark, but it was dry blood. Many people came to see me, but they just started using me. And I was like, here we go again, but something changed. They changed my normal diet, my outfit, my hair, and I never saw my kind like they were back then. But I still look good because I never aged. But they filled me up with more cotton and gave me my long-time cushion friends, but we go way back, but let's not get into that. They took me to an advanced hospital that looked way different. I see familiar beds, but they didn't recognize me. I was there for 2 months, then boom, the whole hospital exploded. The people and I didn't survive. We didn't make it. I watched myself burn to ashes as flames went into my eyes. I saw a light, a bright, beautiful light. Then I started the resting. I wasn't upset. I wasn't scared. I was happy knowing I did what I had to do to make people happy. Now I'm happy.
I'm a Spanish student. My name is Connor. Making a name for myself in the big city. It's time. It's my first day out here. I just wanted to show my parents I can help people out in America. I wanted to be a medicine just like my mom, the painkiller. Not everybody becomes a medicine like my great cousin Cameron COVID. He's 2 years old, but he's not going to become a medicine. He's gonna become a flu at the age of 19. Why would he do that? It's time to finally go out in the open. Oh, sir, are you okay? As he turned blue. I told myself, why did that feel so good? Did I just kill him? Mom will be mad. Anyway, it's time to man up and go be with my mom. Looks down the streets and sees body drop, bow, and pops and gasps for air. Whoa, this is deep. As every single body dropped, I became stronger. It was like something my great grandfather told me. When viruses kill, they get strong. They feed off the immune system and get strong. Why does it feel like that? Not smart to get into. I'm going into this abandoned house. Oh, it's an old lady. She's sick. What? Wait, why did you turn blue? I can't get out. Everybody outside need to go inside. Please go inside. Watch them drop. Why me? Why do I have to be so dangerous? All these years I've been trapped in the guilt of killing all these people, and it keep happening. Now I'm not so dangerous, right? I don't know. I haven't been outside in a long time. Wait, it's 2020? Cameron COVID, you're 19, right? It's your time, buddy. You know what? I'm going to stick with COVID and see what he does as he take on the world. Either way, he's one of the last people in my family. I'm not trying to be lonely, don't judge. COVID-19 is on the news. Wait, how is he more famous than me? Connor, was you listening to the whole thing? News. COVID kills 10,000 people in the first month. Yeah, dude, I started in China and went to America. Cool, right? Cousin Cameron is what you would call a jerk. Why do you want them to suffer? Because I'm making myself at home. I'm taking away NBA concerts, and the best of all, I shut down Disneyland. Yeah, boy, I'm going home, COVID. Cameron is really a monster. Why Disneyland? What is Disneyland?
Let's see what you got, Jonathan.
Yeah, I'm the pandemic, or known as coronavirus. Yes, I might kill people, but that's cool because that's just what I do. I wasn't always like this, though. I was really supposed to be used as a military-grade weapon to fight wars. It was fun at first until I was released. I thought I was going to be fun, but my mom must not have known what would have happened. It was fun from the start, but I started touching things. Then that's when it started. I never meant to kill, but I didn't know what powers I possessed. Everything I touched and everything I felt was affected. Every place I breathed and everywhere I went, death after death. I just couldn't take it. I was scary and angry of what they turned me into. So I killed everything that got in my way. And still to this day, I won't stop killing until everything is dead.
Yo, we've had another amazing workshop, Persona Part 2. We spit some poems, tapped into some new voices we didn't know before. Thank y'all so much for joining us, and we will see y'all next time on
Bloom City.
BCC. Y'all be easy, y'all be good.
Want to share your work with the Bloom City crew? Email us at theforcealabama@gmail.com or message us on Instagram or Facebook at The Force Alabama on game. Yeah. Bloom City game.